I mean, you are a really good competitive surfer. Like, obviously, that
On days.
it got you to where you are to a certain point, but when does that switch over to more like making films and just surfing?
Yeah. Competing for me is it's a lot of fun. I've always loved it. Obviously when I was younger, I really liked it. But then I don't know, when I began, I did well in a few contests here and there on the QS. I've gotten close to qualifying a handful of times, and the one thing I learned though, I did my best when the waves are good. And it was always funny because, I talked to people from here or from wherever, like, oh, Cam, like, it looks like the waves are going to be bad for this contest. You're going to crush it. I'm like, bro, I haven't done good in a contest when the waves are this big since I was like 8 years old. But I get it. It comes with the territory. But so anyway, so I competed for a while doing the QS, trying to qualify, and also trying my best to like stay relevant in the free surf world and go on trips and things like that and chase swells. But it's so hard. It's so hard, and it's very expensive, and you're always like kind of stressed, like, well, should I go do this or should I go do that, whatever. And kind of probably this last year or like 2 years ago, when they finally introduced Snapper to the schedule, like I was like, okay, cool, finally a contest at a really good wave. Like, because in all honesty, the QS, like the primes or the Challenger series, the waves are pretty rough. Like, it takes a lot for them to be good, and on top of it being good, there's 112 competitors, which means a lot of heats, which means you need about 4 days of good waves out of 10. You go anywhere in the world, that's almost impossible. So I remember I was in Huntington about to head to Australia to go practice for Snapper, and I looked on my phone, or somehow, some way, Tahiti looked like it was going to be really good. And I've always loved Tahiti. I've had good relationships there, but I was supposed to go to Australia and practice, for Snapper. And I remember I was like, okay, what do I do? Like, it looks really fun. Tahiti's incredible. There probably won't be anybody there because I had all these theories, I actually saw Peter Mell in the parking lot of Huntington. I'm like, Peter, what do I do? I'm like, do I go over to Snapper and practice for this event, or do I go to Tahiti and get to surf the swell? He's like, Cam, how much longer are you going to be able to, just go to Tahiti when the waves are good? Like, you're comparing possibly getting the wave of your life to going to surf with 135 people at Snapper Rock to go do something that you already know how to do, man. You know how to go right. You know how to do 5 snaps on a wave, and the wave comes to you. Like, you're like, man, these are moments that, like, you don't want to give up. You don't want to. Those are moments that you're always going to regret when you look back at it. I'm like, say no more, Peter. So I booked a ticket. I went to Tahiti. Had one of the funnest trips of my life. Got to bring a friend of mine that's a really good surfer, and he got to like kind of come with me, and I got to. He's been before, but it was cool because like I've made a lot of good relationships. We had the jet ski, we had everything all dialed, and just had 4 days of just insane waves and not many people out. Last day of the trip, I ended up like getting this like beautiful, perfect wave, and I get this photo. That was just like one of the best photos I've ever gotten. And it was like a spread in Surfer's Journal. And I showed up to Snapper like 2 days before my heat, surfed at a wave way down the beach, and then ended up doing the best I did. I made like quarters or the round before quarters or something.
Yeah.
And then got to surf against Kelly for my first time ever. I beat him at firing Snapper, and I got barreled behind the rocks. And it just kind of like woke me up a little bit. I'm like, I don't know, like it's kind of more fun to just kind of wing it, and like got to go on that free surf trip, and like that was what's fun. And me, when I was happy, that's when I would do my best. And so it's just like a weird transition. It was like kind of a wake up call in a way, like, okay, Cam, like kind of be careful with this competing thing, because like it's so like it can be taken away from you so fast. Like, I mean, heats last 25 minutes and you traveled across the world for them, and they can go wrong at any second. So I went through with that year. All the rest of my heats, I had very bad luck with waves. Would need to score at the end of the heat, not get it by point something. It was just one of those years, and it was tough. Hard pill to swallow. Missed out on a lot of good like free surf trips, and I was kind of like, okay, Let's kind of maybe rethink a little bit just for more mental health purposes. Like, am I having fun? Am I enjoying this? Yes, I love hanging out with my friends. I love going to these places. But like, I don't know. I don't know if I didn't become a professional surfer, but like I was given this gift of a professional surfer and I want to enjoy it. I want to have fun. I want to, experience, like I want to travel. I want to do all this stuff without having something in the back of my mind. Like, oh, I need to be a snapper tomorrow. Like whatnot. So kind of like slowly faded away from competing. Like I'm still going to compete here and there and did a few events, but so me and my filmer spoke a bunch, my buddy Lane, and we've done projects in the past, but in all honesty, a lot of our projects were just kind of thrown together. It was, I went on a trip with Vistla, I went on a trip with this person, we got all the footage, they're all filmed on different frame rates and all this stuff, and it, it looks good. He does a great job of cleaning all that up, but it's like, it's like, oh, here's a clip from Outer Banks. Oh, here's a clip from Tahiti. And it's just like, it wasn't smooth. Mm-hmm. And then so I was like, I want to kind of, I want to do this year. I want to go chase swells. I want to go and get on those surf trips and have those sessions with my friends. And like, I want to enjoy it because if surfing doesn't work out for me in the next couple of years and I'm still on the QS and I've, blown through a lot of money and, things might not go my way. Like it's no promise. It doesn't matter how good you are. You could not qualify. And it doesn't matter if you're not that good. You could still, like, it can go both ways, like it's just a matter of luck and momentum. And, it's like everyone in that contest in the Challenger Series, you give them a set wave, they can get a 9 every day of the week. They're all so good. So it's like, it's tough. It's really hard. And some people might there might be way better surfers, but, they can lose. They can lose so fast. I shouldn't beat Kelly at Snapper. No way. I've surfed. That was my first time ever surfing there. But it just like, and I'm not bragging about that. I am showing that like, that's how harsh competing can be.